Once Bitten, Twice Die, Book 1 from the Blood of the Infected series by Antony J. Stanton. Narrated by Antony J. Stanton. This is the end. The thought was only fleeting. In reality, the end had been and gone a long time before. Sinner had warned him not to do anything stupid, but here he was fighting for his life. What he really should have done was to just give up and let death claim its prize. If he had known what the future held in store for him, he may well have accepted the inevitable. He may have sought a more agreeable means of dying, something a little less brutal, perhaps something that did not jeopardize the lives of others. Had he been aware that he himself was soon to become a vicious murderer, he might not have battled quite so hard. But Abbott was not gifted with foresight. At that moment, all that consumed him was trying to stay alive just a little longer. Besides, what kind of death can any one person choose for their first experience of it? His aggressor advanced with surprising vigor. Abbott was forced back onto the table. He was fit, well-trained, and considerably larger than the other. Nevertheless, he found himself unable to contain the onslaught, the triumph of wrathful incognizance over strength and experience. Only certain kinds of demise permit the luxury of reviewing your existence as it flashes in front of your eyes in glorious technicolor. Some keep you fully engaged and struggling for salvation until the very end. In such cases, even a brief perusal of your life in black and white is asking too much. Abbott's situation fell firmly into the latter category. He frantically grasped the lunatic's forearms. His assailant, however, possessed unnatural surges of power, dredged up from his inner demons. A trail of phlegm and a guttural snarl escaped his lips. Hands clawed and teeth snapped. He lunged repeatedly at Abbott's face. He was virtually within reach now. Abbott dodged his head to the side with a grunt. He tried to get a knee under his attacker's body, but the man was writhing too much. It was just not possible. Yet, without doing so, he knew he would not be able to hold him off much longer. His strength, along with his hope, was fading fast. Abbott was flecked with spittle. The stench of warm, rancid breath was overpowering as their heads slowly came together. Some of the man's teeth had rotted and fallen out, leaving open sores in blackened gums. His face was mottled with an unhealthy purple tinge. It was covered with scabs and flaking skin. Red lines, like those of a habitual drinker, covered his cheeks. His eyes were bulging and bloodshot and darted about as though without focus, yet the most chilling factor was the absolute lack of perception. The pupils were dilated and blank like those of a shark. It was as though he was just lashing out blindly. If the eyes are a window to the soul, then these particular portals looked out onto a vista of pure hell. And then there was the rage, unprovoked yet wanton and plentiful. There was just an overpowering urge to kill. Abbott's arms burned. His attacker still showed no sign of tiring. If anything, he grew even more frenzied, and ironically, that may have provided an invaluable reprieve. Death took a reluctant step back and waited, denied its reward for now. As the man thrashed about, there was a loud crack. The back legs of the table splintered. The pair were sent tumbling. Abbott hit the floor hard. Pain shot through his shoulder and he was winded, but he managed to slip a leg between the two of them. Deftly, he launched the man over his head, slamming him against the wall. This was his moment to save himself. This was his one chance to live. If the other reacted more quickly, then he would surely be dead.